Want some candy?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I hear you looking for candy, man, bitch.
Give me some sugar, baby. Like scary movies.
Uh-huh. Want some candy?
Hey weenies, you're listening to Monster Candy Podcast. We got a sweet tooth for horror movies and we're just dying to talk about it. Here with me always, we got Dominic Davy.
Hey!
And Screamin' E.
What's up, ghosts and ghouls?
And of course myself, Shotzi Blackheart.
Wah, wah. You said that so like, and me, I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to be here, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you guys would probably do way better without me.
Okay, Eeyore. Thanks for noticing me.
Debbie Downer. Alright, so, what are we talking about today, guys?
Today we're talking about The Tingler.
Yeah.
That was a great suggestion,
bang.
you guys. I had never seen this movie.
You're welcome.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, but
Right?
first, we do news items.
Yes, we do.
Horror news!
Horror news, horror news. That was. I like that we all had our own news sounds to make. Okay.
We have not been drinking.
Water. Got this full glass
I'm
of water.
high off of life, baby!
Okay, you peeked it.
And cocaine.
Oh my god. All right. Starting on the top of the news, the Hollywood. Maybe I am drinking. I thought this was water. The Halloween reboot has started production and has announced the cast. You think it's going to be bad?
Yes.
I don't
Okay,
think so.
what's the cast? Let's
All right,
hear it.
hold on. You got to understand. This is director David Gordon Green and writer Danny McBride. Okay.
What? What?
Yeah.
Shut the front door.
Yeah. No.
Shut. Danny McBride is directing this.
I think it might be the same Danny McBride. He wrote it. Director.
What?
It can't be the same Danny.
If
McBride.
it's that, if
Hold
it's
on,
the
hold
Dan,
on. Let's-
if
we
well,
got-
hold
we
on.
gotta
Can we?
check.
Yeah, can we
We need to-
check
we
this?
need to confirm this.
Because if this is the Danny McBride that I'm thinking of, Eastbound and Down
He's
Danny
about to fuck us up with
McBride,
some truth.
Vice Principal Danny McBride, Danny McBride is my spirit animal.
Okay.
That motherfucker rules.
Well, let's make sure this is the same one. Hold on. It's totally the same one. It's Danny McBride.
Fucking, okay,
didn't
maybe
realize
it'll be
that.
alright. Fucking Kenny Powers doing
Yes, Kenny Powers.
Halloween.
It is actually.
I am
the Danny
behind this
McBride.
now.
Okay, so Danny McBride wrote it along with
Fuck
director
yeah.
David Gordon Green and
Fuck yeah.
John Carpenter.
What? I am on board.
Yeah, John Carpenter, who will score it. He's the executive producer and he's a consultant on the film. And he said that it is the first thing he has seen that truly gets it and is continuing forward the way he always intended. And it has Jamie Lee Curtis returns to reprise her role as Laurie Strode. And get this, I just found out that the original Michael Myers behind the mask, Nick Castle from the first movie, is going to be playing Myers.
What,
again.
bitch?
He's old as fuck, though.
What?
It's going to be him under the mask, of course. But look at Jamie Lee Curtis. Whoever Michael Myers is going to be old as fuck, too.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's going to be a sequel to the very first Halloween movie. It will ignore every sequel that has been made.
Good.
And it's after 40 years. He's coming back to finish what he started. Judy Greer plays Karen Strode, daughter of Curtis's character. That is the girl from Carol from Archer and from Arrested Development,
Okay.
who's I think is awesome.
So if it's going
then-
directly after the first film,
Mrs.
so they're
Sterling.
saying that
Just forget
that
this.
Michael Myers didn't do anything in all of this time.
No, I guess they're going to explain that, but this
Okay.
is literally picking up from where that very first 1978 film left off.
Well, he got shot and stabbed in the eye. Fuck, he's probably like, dude, I need a fucking break.
Yeah,
Oh,
and-
maybe there will be a
yeah.
witch that will summon him up or some shit.
Academy Award-winning makeup and VFX artist Christopher Nelson His joined the production to help the bloody mess that Michael Myers leaves behind on the big screen. He did Suicide Squad, Deadpool, Sin City, Kill Bill 1 and 2.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Danny McBride wrote this. I can't believe he fucking wrote this. It's slated for release on October 19th, 2018.
That's fucking
This year.
amazing.
Wow.
I can't believe I impressed you guys like that.
Yeah,
I changed
you
your
did.
tune.
No,
You were-
just Danny. Like, fuck everything
Danny
else.
McBride's funny
Just
as fuck.
yes. He's
so
a
good.
genius.
I don't care if he plays the same character
He's
in
a
every
genius.
fucking
He plays the
season,
same character in every movie.
but it's the best
That's-
character ever.
I'm stoked that John Carpenter liked it. He doesn't like anything.
Oh yeah, John Carpenter has something to do with it too. That's cool. But
Yeah.
Danny McBride, fuck yeah.
So
John Carpenter. JC's the man.
this may be a remake that proves the other remakes wrong. It's not a remake. It's a
sequel,
sequel.
yeah.
Excuse me. It's not even a remake. It's a
Yeah,
sequel.
it's a sequel.
Well, that's cool.
And so, in response to that, as our next news item, you guys want me to keep reading or you want to
Well,
read
you
it?
keep reading because I don't even.
All right, I got the paper in front of me, and I'm going to read it. So, there is going to be a new Hellraiser film. A trailer came out called Hellraiser Judgment.
Oh, I seen that
Yeah,
one.
it's the next
I thought it was already
show.
out.
It was written and directed by Gary Tunnicliffe.
Gary
He did
Coleman.
Hansel and Gretel.
Gary Coleman.
And stars horror icon actress Heather Langenkamp from Nightmare on Elm Street. The synopsis.
Oh my
is-
God! Wait, Heather.
Langenkamp? Am I saying her name right? I've never been able to say this poor actress's name right. It's from Nightmare on Elm Street, the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking someone else.
The
for a second.
synopsis is: Dreaded Pinhead returns the next terrifying chapter of the classic Hellraiser series. 3 detectives trying to stop a diabolical serial killer are sucked into a maze of outwardly horror, where hellish denizens, including the auditor, the assessor, and the jury, await to pass judgment. It will go direct to video, Blu-ray, DVD,
Yeah.
and on demand February 13th from Lionsgate.
I wonder why.
And there's a trailer out, which I think looks like crap. And honestly, this movie pisses me off because I'm going to tell you why. Clive Barker in 2013 wanted to reboot Hellraiser after seeing the remake of Evil Dead. He was inspired and he was like, dude, we could totally do this with practical effects. We could make something that really blows people's minds. He wanted to bring back Doug Bradley as Pinhead. That was the only actor he wanted to bring back, and he was going to redo the whole thing. He pitched it. They said they were into it.
Shotzi's eating a burrito right now.
Sorry, I have to.
It's totally fine. They pitched it. He was into it. He was all excited, and then nothing was said for years until he found out that this movie was coming out. So as far as I'm concerned, it's like we're getting this movie instead of getting a remake by Clive Barker.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can't.
See, fuck Hollywood. They don't believe. They don't understand.
Here's the thing, man. Like, it goes for the same for bands, you know? Like, when you have an iconic front man or front woman, front person, because, you know, we don't want to exclude anybody. Gotta get everybody in there. You can't just replace them with some rando. Because then it's like, what the fuck? Doug Bradley is fucking Pinhead.
I do think there's situations, being as somebody in a band that had to replace their iconic front singer that everybody loved with somebody who was technically a rando. She's done a great job and has managed to pull it off.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying, because there's plenty of situations where, like, no, but I mean, I understand, like, Dead Kennedys, you can't replace Jello Biafra, whether you like him or not. He's Jello Biafra, and there's just
You can't replace
no
fucking
way.
Diamond Dave.
No, I mean,
You know
that
what I
was,
mean?
I hear you, Van Halen. That was a tough sell with Sammy Hagar. I mean, they put out some hit albums.
I mean, it can be successful. Brian Johnson, you know,
Yeah.
AC/DC. That you can do it, but
No,
when you have like,
I had no choice. I had to
Right.
do it. So,
well, you know what?
and I think
Dom,
in my
hey,
situation,
wait.
Yeah, Faith No More.
Let's
There's-
just
yeah,
let's
you're
just-
wrong. You're
no,
wrong.
No,
Faith No More. That's a good point.
Faith. You shut up, Faith. Who's Chuck Mosley? Oh, it's the original singer of Faith No More. Anyway,
I feel like I stumbled onto a personal thing there.
let's just get one thing straight. You've always been Tsunami Bomb.
I'm not the only one that's not.
Well,
It's like it was a team project, but I know what you mean. That sometimes there's iconic people,
Robert
It's
Englund's
really-
always going to be Freddy. You can't put anyone else in that makeup.
Yeah,
and
that
make
would be
it work.
weird.
Well, they did.
That
do
would be fucking
I
weird.
know,
They
and
did
it didn't
do that.
work.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's probably why I stayed away from that shit.
It
See?
wasn't bad, but it definitely lacked the charm.
They
and
did
I'm
it-
not
they
even
did
a
it
huge
twice.
fan.
Wait, in that
Twice?
Yeah, they remade fucking didn't they do what's the
was Robert Englund in that newer
the
one?
Rorschach one, and then they came out with
The
another
Rorschach guy,
one.
yeah.
The remake
then-
one. The remake.
And then they came out with another one not long after that. Or did they only do one?
No, it did one.
Did they?
Yeah.
Alright.
It didn't. I mean, it was okay.
Wait, was Robert Englund in that new one? That remake? That
No.
came out like no?
No.
No.
If you're looking for us for answers, people, you're not gonna get them. It's called Google.
We
Google
can't.
it.
We can't know all the answers
We can't
to
know
everything.
everything.
Man, come on.
No, but I understand. Pinhead, it's a tough one to replace. I saw the actor. I mean, it's a very handsome guy, obviously playing Pinhead. He has a cool
yeah,
voice
he's
in the
too
trailer.
handsome.
But it was just like...
He's too handsome.
I'm not sold. I mean, especially knowing what we could have gotten in place of this. And it's going straight to Blu-ray, DVD, digital, and on-demand on February 13th.
And
That
that's
means
why-
they weren't trying. Like, they're just trying to hold on to the franchise so it doesn't revert back to anyone else. I call shenanigans. I mean, I want to like it, but I'm not feeling it. I mean, as excited as I am about Halloween, I'm that not excited by this new Halloween.
I mean, if it was gonna be that great, it wouldn't go right to DVD
I can tell
or
you
Blu-ray.
that I'm not gonna check it out.
Straight to video
Yeah.
to watch this turd.
Finally, last news item. On that note, there's some new Del Toro projects in the work. After The Shape of Water landed 7 Golden Globe nominations, he's getting kind of his pick of stuff. The next thing he's doing, he's producing a supernatural film called Antlers, and they're looking at Scott Cooper to direct it. I guess Del Toro's a fan of Cooper's work. Cooper's done Hostiles, Out of the Furnace, Black Mass. And that
Black
could be
Mass
next-
is a good movie.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a good movie. Anyway, Antlers is based off a short story called The Quiet Boy. Anyway, it's supposed to follow a young teacher that discovers her troubled student's father and younger brother harbor a deadly supernatural secret, which could almost be every horror movie ever. So anyway,
It'll
he's
probably be
also
good.
co-writing and directing a film. This one I'm kind of excited about. He's co-writing and directing a film called Nightmare Alley, and it's a remake of the 1947 film, the Carnival
Soul.
noir thriller, and it sounds like it'll be that's an awesome remake. The original movie starred Tyrone Power, and it's about an ambitious young conman who hooks up with a female psychiatrist who's even more corrupt than he is. And at first they enjoy success, fleecing people with their mentalist act, but then she turns the table on him, out manipulating the manipulator.
Whoa.
It'll probably be good. He's pretty clutch.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's had some moments that he's
I
been
don't
hit
like
or miss.
all of his things,
I don't,
but
yeah. I don't like everything, but I love a lot of things, and I love where he's come from. You know, we all love The Shape of Water, so that I am excited about. I will check out both those things.
me too.
So, got some movies that we would check out. Got some movies that we will not check out.
Definitely
let's
not
talk
check
about
out
them.
Hellraiser.
Definitely super stoked for Halloween too.
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride.
It better be
man.
fucking funny. It better be funny. Like, I hope it's kind of like
Do you want a funny Halloween movie?
I
If-
like some a
you know
little
what?
bit
I
of
don't think it's going to be
comedic
funny.
relief.
you
I like a
know,
little bit of comedic.
I feel
relief.
like if it's not, that's wasting the talent of Danny
I
McBride.
don't know, man.
or
I
maybe,
think if it
or
was-
or maybe,
Maybe he's just a really good fucking horror movie writer too. Who knows?
yeah.
We'll find out.
all I know is that when John Carpenter saw what they did, he was like, they get it. And I mean, I know who that, like, Rob Zombie, there's that famous story of Rob Zombie getting all excited going, hey, I'm making your movie. And he's like, okay. And he told him, like, this is what I'm doing. And I'm going to make it so, like, he's going to come after his sister. And I guess as soon as that was, like, John Carpenter was like, nope. Because John Carpenter has famously said the coolest thing about Michael Myers that he thought was the most terrifying, which I agree, was that there was no connection. If he sees you, it's like a shark.
Yeah.
Yes.
He'll go after you.
Yes.
It had the only reason he went after Laurie Strode was because she put the keys in the mailbox of the house that he was in, and he saw her.
Yeah.
And that was all it took. Like, the later connection to make it his sister and all that stuff, I always thought was, like, weird, because I thought it was just cool that there was no explanation other than there's nothing behind those eyes. I thought that was cool. Like,
Pure evil.
that seems more realistic.
Pure
Like, that
evil.
seems like a more, like, scary concept. Like, so you didn't do anything. There's no reason.
Nope.
Just sees you.
Yep.
and decides
Very Pumpkinhead-like.
Pumpkinhead
No,
purpose.
no, Pumpkinhead does have a purpose.
Yeah, but,
He is gunning for a specific person.
yeah, but if he sees you, you're fucking dead.
I don't think if I think if Pumpkinhead sees you and you're not getting in his way, I think he would just ignore you and go
As
to
long
what
as you're
he's...
not in his way.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
If you're trying to fuck his shit up and sabotage what he's trying to get done, then I think yes, he would rip your head
Yeah,
off.
I think you're fucked.
I think
either way.
Michael Myers will just kill you if he sees you.
Yes.
Like that's it. Like
Yes.
he'll walk up your spine.
Yes, exactly.
And rip you in half. Like,
Exactly.
he doesn't care. And I bet he's easily distracted too. He'd just go after that person just as easily as he goes after that. But that said, that ends our little news segment. And now
Horror news.
Doesn't anyone know how a newscast sounds? This is like Arrested Development moment. Does anyone know what a chicken sounds like in this family?
Cheep, 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 cheep.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is the best part of that whole movie that seemed to be lost on the audience when we saw it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cheap, 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 cheap. Chickens don't go cheap.
Yeah, when you're telling someone that they're chicken, you don't go cheep,
Buck,
cheep.
buck, buck, buck. But
I'm surprised no one told Tommy Wiseau, "Hey, yo, Tommy, that's not
it's not
how you
chickens.
do it in America. That might be how you cheep in Europe." But
Anyway, so we're gonna talk about the Tingler.
The Tingler.
The Tingler,
1959.
Yeah.
directed by William Castle and starring Vincent Price as a scientist who discovers a parasite in human beings that feeds off of fear.
That was good. That was good. You're like damn near the Count from Sesame Street right
Thank you,
there.
thank
It's like,
you.
One Tingler.
dual Tinglers. Tinglers and everybody.
Infinity Tinglers.
This movie was crazy. This movie is a crazy movie for 1959.
It's hilarious.
Like, okay, first off, it starts out with the director coming out and breaking it down to you. Like, I want to have a little talk to you before this movie starts. Because you're about to see some shit. You gotta be ready for some shit. Like, that's kind of a...
Yeah, it was. I feel like to actually see it in a theater back then would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Back
Especially
then?
because
Yes.
they had all the little gadgets, like they were
Yeah.
trying to fuck with you.
Yeah, he called those Percepto. He put buzzers on chairs so that during that particular that theater scene, you would feel them as if you were in the movie.
Yeah. I think that's crazy. And the fact his name was William Castle, that's the
Yes.
director.
Yes.
This is the guy, just for everybody, so everyone understands, this is the guy behind Rosemary's Baby.
Mm-hmm.
This is the guy behind 13 Ghosts.
And
House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, this...
Which you could totally tell because it's very similar to House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah.
Very.
Which we'll get into because
Yeah.
we're discussing some things earlier. but-
Okay, this guy cranked out horror movies like nobody's business.
Yes,
This guy was
yes.
incredible.
And he was famous for all those movie gimmicks. Like in House of Haunted Hill, he had a skeleton
Mm-hmm.
that would fly across the theater to scare people.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
This guy was like into it.
He would hire screamers and fainters to scream and faint at the movie, so it'd give that atmosphere of fear.
Hell yeah, you gotta have plants in the fucking.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool that he would go that far.
Yeah, so that people will go back and be like, there was people fainting, there was people screaming.
I'm sure that's still a Hollywood secret that people use today.
Oh, you having like screamers or
Yeah.
laughers at screenings.
Yeah, like, oh my god, I'm sick, or I gotta go run out. Cause,
Right.
No, what I mean, like the movie. Okay, the movie is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's also terrible.
Yes.
It's terribly awesome.
I mean, it's terrible in the sense of it's 1959, and that's
Yeah, but I mean,
You know.
it's like it definitely breaks the fourth wall a couple times to just break it down. Like the director comes out, William Castle himself comes out to talk to you and
Yes.
tell you
That's my
I'm really
favorite
gonna-
part.
Yeah.
You really like that? Where
He's like, you might not be able to handle this movie because it's super fucking scary.
He's like my shop teacher, though. He comes out in a suit, buzzed haircut,
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm just here to tell you,
Mm-hmm.
this is a very frightening movie, and you have to be ready. You know, it's like, he's just like, okay, thank you, Mr. King. Like, it totally reminds me of, like, my farm mechanics teacher in high school. Yes, I took farm mechanics. I did not fit in. It was a very interesting experience. It was like studying gorillas in the mist. It was like,
What?
yeah, there's a whole story to that.
Farm mechanics, eh?
Yeah, my dad made me take it
Hey, man.
and
If I have any agriculture questions.
direct them to someone else. Google it.
But you know, I like that whole like Alfred Hitchcock kind of. I'm going to introduce the movie to you beforehand and whatever. Like, I think that shit's cool.
Yeah, Vincent Price. My first note on here, as I was telling you guys earlier, my first note on here is Vincent Price is so awesome.
He is.
Hell yeah.
He's James T. Kirk awesome because he's just like he's
the
has that-
king of horror movies.
He really is. But
The
He's the
sweet,
motherfucking
100% the sweetest mustache in horror movies.
Right?
he's
The little lip liner.
Oh man,
he's
The
just
VP
got-
lip liner.
pencil mustaches. Shit.
I mean, even the first scene he has with that guy, when the guy comes into his little lab as he's performing an autopsy in the very beginning of the movie in the prison, and the guy's just like, "Hey, what you doing to my brother-in-law?" Which, you know, that's the guy's brother-in-law. So the sister that he's married to, that's part of the story.
Yeah.
This is her brother, and they never really revisit that. That's really just a device for them to meet. Mm-hmm. So that's a little weird. But like, he's just so like casual, like, "Oh, what are you doing here? You need a pass." "Oh, I guess you got one. I didn't know you were a relative. Sit over there. While I cut open your
Yeah, your
brother-in-law."
relative, right?
So he's just, I don't know, he's got a way about him that I was just like, dude, this guy. I was just reminded how cool he is. Pause. Unpause.
We're back, everybody.
Yeah, we didn't have a pause there at all to let a cat in. Like, that didn't happen. That wasn't.
Sorry, man.
what happened.
My cat was scratching at
It's
the
not
door.
a fight. It's our fucking neighbor's cat.
It's your
It will-
cat now.
It will not leave us alone.
That's my cat.
fucking cats.
That's my cat.
All right. Well, as we were uninterruptedly saying, Vincent Price is awesome, and
We could probably just do a whole episode on how awesome Vincent Price
we
is.
should do that.
Yeah, no, I really do think that we need to do an episode where we talk about Vincent Price and our favorite Vincent Price films. Maybe give like a top 3. I don't know. I'm all about like top numbers or whatever. I feel like that we should do that in every episode.
Well, this is the first film to ever show an LSD trip, so this is that's another highlight of this one.
Yeah.
And
It's pretty cool.
It's probably the top
Historical.
anti-drug PSA of 1959
Right.
because they are like straight up like, what is LSD? What is acid?
Don't do
It's like-
LSD or the Tingler will get you.
well, it's like what is it? What did he say? At one point, there's an exchange. It's like, wait, he's on acid. What will acid do? And the guy's
It'll
like,
make you go mad.
it'll make you go crazy. It'll make you feel like death itself. It's just like, that's not what it does. Like, that's not what it does at all. That's some harsh. So
One thing I'd like to talk about is Vincent Price's obvious terrible choice in women wives.
this is
Yes.
the worst marriage
This
ever.
House on
No.
Haunted Hill.
I
too,
noticed
it's
that
like-
too. Yeah, House on Haunted Hill, the worst marriage ever, and then this one, a really bad.
They're always
marriage
trying to
as
kill
well.
him.
But I feel like that's a William Castle thing.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
he also
probably.
did House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that William Castle
Has-
had a
has
shitty
some bad
wife,
marriages.
and is now putting it in all of his films.
It is pretty funny because like this is one of the worst marriages on screen, especially when like it's one thing where they're talking about how it's bad and her younger sister is like, oh, I just feel bad. This isn't, she's cruel. She's the way she is, and he's like, no, it's fine. I can handle her. And then she comes home super late at night, making out with some guy on the sidewalk. But
Yeah,
then-
right in front of her house.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
no shame, fuck it.
No
fuck
fucks
you,
given.
Yeah. Fuck you, VP. I'm just gonna make out with this other dude right in front of our house.
Yeah.
No BD.
She don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like she comes in and just like hates him, and then he manages to scare her near to death. Like,
There's a lot of shit going on. You're
This
like,
is
oh
like
man.
Yeah, and then she poisons him and then puts the Tingler on him.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the fact that, okay, the monster of this movie is literally in all of us.
And it's so cute.
Where did they come up with this idea? Like, supposedly we all have a parasite inside us that as we get scared, it gets bigger until we scream, which stops it.
Acid.
Well, that's the balance.
Acid is where that comes from. That's why it's in the fucking
William
movie.
Castle was just dropping,
Just fucking
some
dropping
acid.
shit and was like, I got,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, like that, you know? People get scared to death because they can't scream. Because there's this fucking thing on their spine, it gets bigger. Fuck. Oh my God, I gotta tell everybody. And he's like, I'm gonna make a movie about it. And that's what it is.
That may be. I mean,
Well, somebody that was working on the film actually did LSD, and that's why he wanted the scene in there, the LSD scene in there.
Well, then they
Yeah,
had a
I'm saying.
bad trip because that is not. Like, I mean, that is a bad representation of what acid will do for you. Like, it's just it'll make you feel like death itself. And it's
Well,
like,
I've never done acid, but I mean, you could have a bad trip though. You could have a real bad
they
trip.
clearly
right?
had some bad trips on this
Yes.
fucking stuff.
However it came to be, that's a good fucking premise for a movie.
It's
And
one
I
of the more
also-
creative
yes.
premises of a classic black
Yeah.
and white horror movie I've seen. Actually, it's a creative premise for today. I don't know if it was quite as successful in terms of scary, but I mean, I think that it is one of the best one of the more creative attempts at like, no, this is in everybody.
Yes.
And that tingle that you get when you get freaked out, that's a creature inside.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a monster that could break out
could
of you and
kill
kill
you.
you.
But
and
like,
feeds off of your fear.
I like their observation. Did you see how stiff they got? You really got the laughs tonight. Did you see how stiff they got before they fainted? And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like, it's like they had a faint. Like the guy's wife. Is that guy's name Ollie or whatever his name? What's
I
that
don't
guy's name?
remember.
Anyway, I'll look it up. But the guy's wife that becomes the centerpiece of this film, whose brother was murdered or no, died on the chair for murdering
the
somebody.
mute woman.
Yeah, what was it? He was like, oh yeah, Ollie, Oliver Higgins. I think that's who we're talking about. He's like, it's just like his wife when she faints the first time at the sight of blood is the most awkward looking
It's
thing,
hilarious.
where she's like. She's mute. She can't speak, so she's just freaking out, and all of a sudden stiffens and then faints, and it's such a weird, awkward thing.
No,
and-
she does this like rigid thing.
Yeah,
Where
this-
she like zigzags down the floor and then finally falls over.
Right, and then they're like, and that's when Vincent Price is like, "Did you see that? That was interesting. That's evidence of the Tingler." And I'm like, "What? That was evidence of a weird, like, fall. Like, it's the weirdest, most awkward faint."
One thing about her, like, I don't know sign language, but I swear some of the shit she's doing is not sign
I
language
don't
at
think
all.
she's signing real.
Yeah, I don't.
There were a
think so
couple things in
either.
there that I'm
'Cause-
like,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, that might be, but some of the shit she's just like flopping her
she's
hands
like, what,
everywhere.
like, it was like, okay, Lassie, she's in the well.
Yeah, Sally Hawkins was way better at sign language than
Sally
this.
Hawkins in Shape of Water was signing for real. Like
Yes.
that was real signing. This is like some of it's like
I don't know. Maybe it's real. We don't know.
I don't speak it, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think so. I feel like you bring in your deaf friend to watch this, they're gonna be like, "What the hell?
What the fuck was that?"
what are they saying? But
No, it probably is. Actually,
do you know the young couple in this? The younger sister and the young guy who's his Vincent Price's assistant.
Yeah.
They met and got married on this movie. They met
at
and
that.
got married.
How cute!
How
And they were
awesome to be
together
like,
for
you know,
years.
we met on set of this Vincent Price movie.
I know, right? I wish we met on a Vincent Price movie.
Yeah,
That would have been dope.
Apparently
Lame
that was
sauce.
That's what happens. They were together until 1982 when they got a divorce.
Oh.
Did she try and kill him?
I don't think so. I think there was it seemed like it was amicable from what I found. But it's a really cool little monster. It looks like an actual worm. I looked it up, and it is.
It looks like a centipede and a
Parapatus,
lobster
like,
had
it's based off like a real like a velvet worm.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
thing.
really?
Yeah.
Cute.
It's like
I
a
like it.
halfway between an earthworm and an arthropod.
You know
according to
what
this little
I
dude.
really want? a Tingler plushie.
You've been on a kick the last couple things now of wanting a plushie. I now know what to get you for next Christmas.
I want a plushie of everything.
It's like...
I have a really great monster plushie collection.
Do you really?
Yeah, I got a creature plush. I have quite a few creature plushies.
Does that go on your
A
bed?
Wolfman plushie. I have all the monster cereals as plushies. I got Michael Myers as a plushie.
I feel like some of them lose their scary factor when they're a stuffed animal, but...
Well, I mean, monsters aren't very scary to me. They're kind of cute.
Fair enough.
Fiend without a face plushie would be awesome.
Brain, the little brain with the little thing. Oh, it would be so cute.
Or as we mentioned that other episode, a little pumpkin head corpse.
Yes.
Little baby pumpkin
Yes.
head. No, I think this movie is good. Because there's some, bad 50s and 60s horror movies, sci-fi movies, but I think this one, it's a thinker too,
Mm-hmm.
It is.
It's a smart film, I feel like.
You know what's really cool? It's got some great tricks in it. One of my favorite things they did. This is a black and white movie.
Oh, yes.
But the color blood.
I know where you're
yeah.
going. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so at one point she's having visions and she's the wife that she cannot speak. She's completely mute. She's deaf. Was she deaf? She was deaf.
Yes.
Yeah, she
is
was
both
deaf and mute.
Deaf and mute.
And she's tripping.
Yeah.
Seeing crazy stuff, and at one point she goes in the bathroom and her bathtub is filling up with bright red blood. And how they did this, do you know how they did this?
Yeah, I do.
You want to tell? You tell it.
Okay, well, so what they did was they created a black and white set where they colored everything black and white and gray, and they put makeup on her that was black and gray, and then they shot that scene only in color and filled up the bathtub with red blood.
It was such a rad thing to
Yeah,
do back
yeah.
then. That would have blown. Like I know that had
That
to
blo-
blow,
yeah, no, that blows
had
my
to
mind.
blow people's minds when they
Right.
saw that. Like
Holy fuck, am I tripping?
this is like some Barnum and Bailey like ringmaster like illusionary like we're gonna shock them in the back. We're gonna
Yeah.
scream at them while everyone's screaming, and then we're gonna show some color blood in this black and white movie. I was like, the meetings behind this must have been amazing. Like where he's just like, what are you doing? Are you gonna have a circus, or are you directing a horror movie?
So the bathtub fills up with this blood thing that her husband puts in there. How did he do that? How did he make the faucet run by itself?
Well, I feel like
and
she was both tripping on acid that had been slipped to her by Vincent Price's character.
Oh.
And she was getting scared by her husband
okay, I
on
see.
top of
and
that.
then she was and then she started having
Yeah,
bad
between
trips.
Between the two of them, she was just losing
Okay,
it.
gotcha. I thought it was all him.
it was just the 50s shit where they don't really explain how things happen, kind of like
The ending.
the end. Where it's like,
Which we'll get to.
yeah.
But the other thing that is really amazing about this movie is when his wife dies. Ollie, the husband,
You're laughing at
is
that.
so no, I know, but like it's so 50s blasé about the death. Like,
Well,
sorry, she's dead, and he's like, oh, it's okay. Alright. I guess I wasn't a very good husband to her either. I'm like,
And then he just
That
keeps
was
her
it?
in the house forever.
And then he takes her home to the house, and like, they don't go to the police. Nobody bothers to tell the police, and he's just like, everybody's really blasé
Yeah.
about death in this movie. Like nobody gives a fuck
Mm-hmm.
about anybody. So I just found that really hilarious because he was just like, oh, I wasn't really that good of a husband either.
well, he wanted her dead.
What?
He wanted her out of
Yeah.
the picture.
Yeah, so he could get the money.
Yeah. So, but you would think if you're gonna pull off a heist of that nature, you'd want to act a little more concerned. Oh fuck no! Ah, damn it! Oh, she's
darn.
dead.
The other thing is though, is he took her home. Like, keep in mind, Vincent Price in front of him just cut open and pulled out the Tingler out of her back.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got this
Gaping wound.
gaping
Yeah, this
wound and
huge
dead
wound.
body.
Yes.
And he's like, I'm just gonna take that home. I mean, and he just picks it
Yeah.
up and hauls out. It's
And
like
she's
bleeding
probably
all over.
bleeding.
Well, that's the beauty of those old 50s movies. It's like the reality only went so far, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, let's go,
It feels very much like a stage play watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could see the string on the
Yeah.
Tingler.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
see the
totally
you can see the
As it
string.
like pulsates.
Yes, yeah.
Like going across the floor. It's like,
So cute.
I like that the movie pauses just to like scream for your life. Like,
Yes.
that's the thing I also want to bring up is the fact that, all right, so spoiler alert, everybody, the Tingler falls down or goes down to the theater that they operate, that the husband and mute
Wife,
wife, own and run.
Ollie and his wife.
Yeah. And when Vincent Price and Ollie find out, they're like, "Oh shit! Okay, we gotta go down there." And then they get on the loud, like the intercom, like, "Hey everybody, there's a fucking creature down there." And the lights go off and all this shit starts happening. Everyone's freaking out. Scream, everybody! And then after okay, it's up in the projection room. Lights go on. It's cool. Let's go back to what you're doing.
Yeah, it's such
Like-
a weird.
Like no big
Yeah.
deal. You're in a
He's like,
theater.
just finish watching the movie.
Some
It's
crazy
fine.
shit just went down.
It breaks
Yeah.
like the fourth wall. And
There was just a monster in there that could kill you guys, but it's fine. It's
It's cool,
paralyzed
it's
now. It's
cool.
cool. It's
we're
fine.
gonna stop the movie.
Just
it's
keep
all gonna
watching
go
it.
black, and everyone's screaming. Meanwhile, while it's screaming until they're yelling at you, the Tingler is actually in the theater.
Yeah.
There's probably hired people screaming. You're getting shocked.
Yeah.
Like in your lower back. Like, people
It's-
fainting. Do you imagine how crazy that must be? And then you hear Vincent Price's voice, like you said,
yeah,
going,
it's-
"All right, everything's cool. Watch the movie." Now it's in the
fuck?
projection room in the theater.
Yeah. We got it taken care of.
This is unlike any other horror movie I've ever seen. It is silly and funny and awesome.
Yeah. It's definitely a keeper.
It's probably one of my favorite Vincent Price films, if not the favorite. For a while, it was Last Man on Earth, but now I'm thinking that Tingler might take top rank as my favorite.
I don't think I
Vincent
could
Price
say
film.
that much, but I will definitely say that he does not give a fuck. Especially at the end where, like, when a gun's pointed at him, he's just like, "Ollie, what are you doing? Well, I'm just gonna go down those stairs and I'm gonna call the police later then." And it's like, he's just, and then he walks out. Like, he's like, "All right." And I was
He's
like,
Mr. fucking calm, man.
Vincent
Yeah.
Price,
He's like, man.
baller.
Yeah. Well, the mustache like that, how can you not be?
Right?
Yeah, would you say it was a lip liner?
Lip liner, yeah, he's rocking that lip liner. That's how you know he's a thug.
Dr. Warren Chaplin. Yeah. No, I mean it's pretty hilarious. Like, I mean, this movie has it all. It has like the giant rubber worm. It's got LSD trips. It's got color vision in the middle of a black and white movie.
Adultery.
Adultery. People not caring about people dying. No, it's definitely a fun.
It's
movie
fun.
and worth. I think that people who like horror should definitely be like go back and watch this. This is
Oh,
something.
you
that-
have
I
to.
agree, yeah.
You have to watch this.
Especially if you like classic shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta go back and
And
check it out.
I think everybody needs to like classic shit more often. Like, I mean, I think people. I get really bummed out when I hear from people that they don't like black and white movies.
Well, I
They're
think
fucking
that
stupid.
those people I feel like don't actually give black and white films a chance because I didn't for the longest time, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I like randomly went into the dollar store and Night of the Living Dead was in there for like $1 that I finally watched it. But that took me forever.
I mean, it's the same with music, man. Like, people nowadays, like, you get so far removed from the original shit that you're just like, oh, you get copies of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and at some point it goes back around to where people are like, oh man, like everything sucks now, so I want to go back and check out all the old shit, and that becomes new again. But like right now, there's a lot of kids, especially in punk rock, like. Or like psychobilly rock, be like whatever, that whole thing. They'll only go back
Only so far.
X amount of generations. It's like, okay, I have my favorite band now. Who was their favorite band? And that's pretty much like where it ends. Instead of being like, okay, who are those like originators? Like, what were they into?
Yeah.
And
No,
then they
you're
go
right.
back and you get into that shit. Same thing. I feel like with movies, like all these, you get too caught up in like either gore or like slasher things or like just that whole style where you're like, oh well, this isn't scary, so like I don't care. It's like, well, that's not the fucking point.
One thing Jello told me about, he said once, and I thought this was really cool. Jello Biafra said to me, he was saying that people were talking to him about, their bands, and he talks to all these young musicians, and he was like, when Dead Kennedys created our sound and we started playing songs, we weren't listening to other punk bands.
Right.
We were listening to music, garage, rock, soul, everything we could get our hands on, and we came up with our own sound that we just made. He was like, don't listen to everybody to sound like everybody. Just go and do your thing, just make it. Let's go back further. Go challenge yourself, and that was his point when you come up. And it's like, I have to say, when I'm writing for my own band, I don't listen to punk rock. I listen to a lot of other kind of music, and because I'm not trying to sound like, the last thing I want to do is sound like another punk band, if I can help it. So I would recommend that everybody who loves movies, trying to make movies, trying to come up with movies, you just go further back. These black and white movies don't have the same vibe as movies today, and that's what makes it awesome. They were literally filmed stage plays. They had made a certain amount of sets, and people were walking in and out. And
less is
this
more.
This one feels like it could be a stage play.
It's like fucking.
Actually, oh my god, I would love this movie. I would love this movie to be a stage
We
play.
should put it on.
That would be amazing.
We should put it on at the Uptown.
That would be amazing.
Let's do it.
Oh, honestly. I need another project.
Dude, I can give you some lip liner.
But
you
I get to be the Vincent Price.
Yeah, you can be Vincent Price. Why not? Can I be the Tingler?
Yeah.
You can put strings on me.
Come on, the suit. Look like
we get you a big suit where the little claws.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
oh my god, I'll be so cute.
You'll look like Bud Bundy when he's the little cockroach on the set of the Verminator when Kelly's the Verminator, and he's like,
we'll just get that costume.
Yeah.
Everyone can scream and you just
can we
fall
do it
over.
all in black and white too?
Yeah, everyone's painted
everyone's painted black and gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you gotta
and then you just every time someone screams, you can just see
fall
you
over.
Yeah, I'm like
This honestly, I would this would make the best play. This would be a better horror play than anything, because people would be laughing and you get people screaming. So, did you just try to steal the water?
Yeah.
Water here. Okay, give me that back. You got water now. Sorry, it was an interlude of drink. There was a drink battle going on while nobody could see it. But, yeah, man.
Gotta check it out.
Watch more black and white movies. Watch The Tingler.
Gotta get into the old classics.
Yeah.
It's the framework for what there is now.
And Rosemary's Baby is a great horror movie.
Because kids are fucking evil, so don't have them.
They are.
Okay,
fuck your life.
But I mean,
up.
it's really good to see this, to understand
Don't have kids.
this guy.
Do not
Kids
have
suck.
This, I have met a number of kids that do not suck.
Lies.
All right. So on that
He's just saying that so the parents won't get mad.
That's not why I'm saying that. I actually have,
I can just see it now. A mother on her.
My kids are great. No, your kids are fucking ugly, lady.
Okay. On that note, watch The Tingler.
Wait,
with
the
Vincent Price.
ending though. The ending though.
Oh God, never mind. Hold on. Stop everything. The ending.
What about that ending? What happens?
Nobody knows.
Nobody really knows how that happened.
So was she okay?
So wait.
So at the end.
All right. This is a spoiler.
Yes.
Full spoiler warning. We're going to talk about the ending, so if you've been listening to this and you want to watch this movie, this would be the point to pause.
No, it isn't. Just keep listening. It's fine.
Okay.
You'll be fine.
It's
You'll
up
live.
to you. You're an adult. Go on.
So the mute lady...
This way the Tingler won't get you, so just...
Scream for your life! All right, go on. I'm sorry.
So the mute woman... I feel so fucked up that we just keep calling her
Martha.
the mute woman.
Martha.
Okay, Martha. Martha the mute woman.
Martha Ryerson Higgins is her name. Martha Higgins.
Well, Miss Higgins...
Miss.
She's supposed to...
She's an honest woman, Chauncey.
Okay.
Mrs. Martha Ryerson
God damn it.
Higgins. Why does she have a middle name? Okay, go on, Martha.
Mrs. Higgins. So, she's supposed to be dead, but at the end of the movie, her husband comes home, and she suddenly props up, the window goes down, the door is shut.
And locks.
Yes. So, what just happened? Is he tripping on LSD? Or has the Tingler gotten to her body and it's consumed her? And, well, but he took it out of her, right?
He took out the Tingler but puts it back to
Right.
make it go small. Because he's
Oh.
like, that's the only thing.
He doesn't want to
wants
get it out. It doesn't want it getting out like it
Yeah.
did.
He
and
wasn't
killing
supposed to
people.
get out. It's supposed to stay inside a person.
Stay with your master.
Yeah, so I think maybe the Tingler
Brought it, reanimated
her, and now it's like a zombie Tingler thing. That could be a sequel. Why isn't there a Tingle sequel?
Tingle sequel.
Why is there a tinkle tingle?
I think she's high.
Tingler.
Tinger.
Try again.
Tinger sequel.
No, that's still wrong. Tingler sequel with a zombie Tingler lady.
Say that 5 times fast, motherfuckers.
God.
I guess I'll love it.
Because you can't tinkle. Tinkle sequel. But
This is where the podcast went south.
Yeah, so
Well, that's what they could call it.
that would have been a
Tingler.
good. That would have been a good sequel. That would have been a sequel opportunity.
Yeah.
Because I
Wait.
like how it ends on Ollie's face, where he's just like flexing his muscles, like I can't scream for no reason.
That
And he's
was
just like,
so awkward. Oh, the acting in here is like pretty bad.
yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean,
Even VP's performance is like, he doesn't give a fuck. He knows this film's the shits. And he's
Nah, he
just
was
like,
probably into it.
I
He was
You think
never
he was into it?
100%. He was a professional. He's like, all right, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna play this to the best of my ability, and he did.
He did.
Every movie, even fucking Dead Heat, when he was in Dead Heat, that movie was fucking awesome, and he played that fucking role fucking as best as he could, and he nailed it.
He is the best part of this movie, for sure.
Yeah,
That and the
definitely.
Tingler. Played by
and
Chelsea
Martha the
Blackman.
Mute Woman.
Martha the Mute did a good job. Not
She did.
sign
Not
language,
not doing sign language.
I don't know if she did. If
Can
anybody
someone,
could,
yeah, if someone knows, can you watch this and tell us if that is real
please do.
signing? Like,
Find us on Facebook, Monster Candy Podcast. Look up Monster Candy Podcast.com.
we need to do
And tell
vocal
us.
warm-ups before we do these
We've
podcasts.
been doing this for a while.
You guys are just fucking drunk.
Tingler. Sequel.
Drunk off of life.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Monster Candy Podcast.
Wait. How many little zombie candy corns we giving us?
How many cute little zombie candy corns do you give
This is
your
the episode that
Tingler?
will not die.
Just like the Tingler.
Just like the
Mwah,
Tingler.
Because it can't be
I
destroyed.
will give this movie... I feel like if I give it 3 zombie candy corns, I'm making it sound like it's worse than it is. I love it. I'm giving it a 3, but I love it.
I love it, and I'm giving it 2.
Shut
See,
up.
I'm even nicer.
2.
You're giving it 2?
Yes.
Okay.
She's being an asshole. This gets 5 motherfucking
5.
little
Cute.
zombie,
Cute.
cute little zombie candy corns from the kid. Because it's a good fucking movie, and it's a good solid 1959
I think you're the one
movie.
that is always trying to be different.
No, this is a good movie. I think it, it's a
I'm shocked that her and I gave it a 2 and a 3.
you
I
guys
thought
are
I was being like
sons of bitches.
crazy gratuitous giving it a 3, even though I love it. And you giving it a fucking 5?
Oh, yeah.
Zombie
I'm
Killer?
giving it a 2, and it's my favorite Vincent Price movie.
Well, there you go, everybody. You should see it, but just know what you're getting into. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is where the episode actually ends.
Or
Suck my earlobe!
does it?
We'll see you next time on Monster Candy Podcast.
No, we won't.
Yes, we will. You've been listening to Monster Candy Podcast. Want to find out more about the show? Find us on the web at monstercandypodcast.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram by searching Monster Candy Podcast. And you can find our Twitter at MonsterCNDYPC. Hey, we couldn't fit the whole name. What do you want from us? Let us know what you think of the show and if we're right or if we're wrong or what you want us to tackle next. We want to hear from you. Well, Shotzi and I do, but I can promise that E doesn't really care. To find out more about Shotzi Blackheart and her professional wrestling, follow her Twitter at Shotzi Black or her Instagram at Shotzi Blackheart. You can follow Screamin' E's band, the Memphis Murder Men, on Facebook at TMMM official page or his Instagram at Screamin' E. That's screaming with no G, add the E. For me, Dominic Davy, you can find my artwork at dominicdavy.com, my band Tsunami Bomb at tsunamibomb.net, and you can hear my other podcast, 3 Gigs, at 3gigspodcast.com or on the same platform you're hearing this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Monster Candy Podcast.
Wolfman's got knives.